Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about 7 tie-dye tips for beginners to make everything look better. That's right, if you want to create a beautiful piece of artwork clothing like this, you should use these tips. I made these clothes with my wife yesterday. We actually had our twin daughter's first birthday party, and all of the kids that came, which was just a family birthday party and very close friends, all of the kids that ended up coming to the birthday party, we did tie-dye shirts with them. So we made a whole bunch of these. There was like another maybe 15 of them in the sink, something like that, okay? Now, I schedule my videos in advance, so by the time that you see this video, my twin daughters will probably be almost 2. But at the time that I'm filming this, they just turned 1, okay? So essentially, these are the 7 tips that I learned about, and I was a beginner and I learned about these tips, some of them the hard way because my fingers got really discolored through the process, and I cleaned it off now, but some of them I learned about the hard way, but these are the 7 tips without further ado. Tip number 1 is to wet the clothing before you dye it, okay? Now, some people will recommend dry dyeing the clothing, others will recommend wet dyeing the clothing. I've done both, and I feel like wet dyeing the clothing is better. So don't soak it, but just spritz it with some water first. It does a great job at allowing those colors to just soak right in there because they blend in with the water and they just spread out way more evenly. As you can see, you can get a good pattern like that. Number 2, be creative with the colors. So you can see right here, here are some of the colors we use. We let each of the people choose their own colors. There's some red and there's some blue over here. There's some purple over here. There's some red and some like teal. Let me just grab some other ones. You got some green in this, some orange over here. We got some more like a darker blue, like a navy, and a light green and a teal. There's some like darker purple, some pink, some green. Like they just end up looking absolutely awesome. Be creative with the colors. Number 3, try, and this is tip number 3, obviously. I'll just recap, and I'll go over them at the end as well, so stay tuned till the end. I'll go over each of them. Number 1 was wet the clothing before. That's my recommendation. Number 2 is be creative with the colors. I showed you some examples. Number 3, try different designs and patterns. So this right here is like sort of like a spiral rainbow kind of pattern, right? There's other types. This is like a vertical stripe type of pattern. You can go look up online how to arrange each of the articles of clothing for each pattern, but obviously there's different patterns to choose from, and you can get like very simple or very advanced. It's up to you. Number 4, this was my mistake. Wear good gloves, okay? I wore just like these cheap gloves that were cloth, so the tie-dye went right through it, okay? Get good gloves that will not absorb. I have a pair of these right here. These are like these disposable gloves. These will work really well. If you have gloves that might go soak through a little bit, then wear 2 pairs. That's my opinion, because it's quite difficult to get that tie-dye off of your fingers. Even now you can see it's still on there, but you can get it off, but it does take a while, okay? Just makes life so much easier. Just prepare to wear good gloves. That was number 4. Number 5, wash the clothes before tie-dyeing them. You want to wash the clothes before you actually go through the process of tie-dyeing them. I'll tell you why. Within clothes, when you first buy them, there's certain like things in them. I don't want to say chemicals, but there's certain products in them, right? And the tie-dye, the actual dye might react improperly to the things that are already in the clothes. By washing the clothes, okay, very simply, by washing them, you're getting rid of anything that's already in the clothes, okay? And you're able to do sort of like a clean slate with the piece of clothing, and the tie-dye will react the way it's supposed to. Sometimes from the manufacturer there's something in the clothing, sometimes just sitting on the store shelf over the time it's been there, something ends up being on the clothing, but even lots of people touch it, right? Just wash them. There can be oils on the clothing too for people trying them on. Just wash them before you put the tie-dye on them. Very simple. It will really do a great deal of a great job at making it look awesome with the rest of the final end result product. Tip number 6 is protect the clothes that you're wearing. Okay, I'm going to pan the camera down. So this is the shirt that I was wearing just to actually bring the clothes inside. So literally bringing these inside, okay, I was holding them against my shirt. They were wrapped, but just a little drop of tie-dye came out and dyed my shirt, and guess what? Now I'm gonna have to do tie-dye on this shirt because now it already has tie-dye on it, so I'm gonna have to tie-dye it, okay? Protect your own clothing, wear clothes that you don't care about. Very important tip, okay? I'm very careful and cautious, but it still ended up being on my shirt. I also thought that the saran wrap was completely rounded, and obviously liquid can get through creases and crevices, so it is what it is. But protect the clothing that you're wearing. Last but not least is number 7, protect the surface underneath the clothes that you're tie-dyeing. If you're doing it on the floor, you want to lay down it like a tablecloth so that obviously, a thick tablecloth that does not absorb the tie-dye so that you're protecting the floor underneath. Because if that tie-dye gets on the floor, it has a chance of staining it depending on what type of flooring it is. I recommend you do it outside, okay? We did it on the grass when we did it, so I didn't really have to worry. I did put a tablecloth down, but I didn't have to worry about a little couple drops of tie-dye getting off of the tablecloth. It wasn't a big deal, okay? But I recommend doing it on the grass with a tablecloth underneath, and that'll, I think, give you the best chance at success. But if you're gonna do it inside or anywhere where you care about the flooring, even if it is outside and you're doing it on some nice stones or whatever, you need to protect the flooring underneath, or else it's probably gonna get stained a bit. It's just how it works. We're not perfect, we make mistakes, so that's it. So let's recap. Number 1, wet the clothes before you use the tie-dye on the clothes. Number 2, be creative with the colors. Number 3, try different designs and patterns. Number 4, wear good gloves. Number 5, wash the clothes before tie-dyeing them to remove all of the stuff that's already in the clothing. Number 6, protect the clothes that you're wearing. Last but not least is number 7, protect the surface underneath the clothes that you're tie-dyeing. And that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.